everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Death Mountain podcast. Today we're going to recap some stuff that we talked about in previous weeks, as well as look into some new information that we found out this last week. Starting off with Destiny 2. We touched on this a little bit last week, and we got some more information for everyone.
Yep, got announced officially now. Before it was just a teaser saying it was going to come Thursday. That is the announcement in the trailer video. And now we have a lot more details. There's still a lot that's under wraps. We haven't even seen gameplay yet, which will be shown on May 18th.
We've still got reveal trailers.
Yep, we got a reveal trailer, which we'll hit on a little bit later.
Yeah.
But September 8th, PS4, Xbox One, and for the first time, PC. The basis of the game will pretty much be a lot like the first one. There will be the grinding mechanics.
Which I guess, if people really like that, they'll love Destiny 2.
Yeah, exactly. And people do love that, so...
That's true. Diablo is built off of grinding.
Exactly. So there's the grinding, and then there's also all the character classes and all of the tech trees. I'm assuming will be making a return.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks like we're still gonna have the same type of classes, like Hunter, Titans, Warlock, stuff like that.
Yes.
It sounds like they're going to be actually carrying over characters from the previous game as well.
Yeah. So characters are carrying over, but the weapons and unlocks for.
Like completing different raids and whatnot.
Yeah, completing the raids and the stuff that people grind for, actually. And that boosts your stats, basically. Anything that boosts your stats is going to be reset.
So that's going to be locked in Destiny 1.
It'll not be carrying over, locked in Destiny 1. And people are torn on that because a lot of people wish that they would just continue the Destiny game as it was.
Yeah, because when they originally made Destiny, Bungie's whole idea behind it was, hey, we want a game that we can play for 10 years and just continually update.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing, hey, nope, Destiny 2, all new stuff.
I'm thinking part of the reason behind that, though, is the fact that there's so much backlash with the first Destiny, with the no story, and the story is only in these cards that you have to go online for. Nobody wants to go online.
It's cut ties with the original game.
Unless you're so into Destiny that you read them, which I've seen some people that do. They read all the cards.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like myself, do not do that and miss out on a lot of story.
It is quite empty. It's a very empty, void story.
Because there is story. It's just all written in cards, and nobody knows. That's why maybe 1% of Destiny players actually know the entire story and all the background of.
So I'm personally quite excited for this Destiny 2 release, especially being the fact that it's coming to PC. Yes. That's huge, especially if it's going to be on Steam. That's also going to be
that'll probably double the player base in itself.
Yeah, as long as they don't split player bases dependent on if they only put it on EA's Origin. I guarantee we would get more.
Watch Activision make a competitor now.
Oh, that would
starting with Destiny 2.
That would not be good. So I hope they keep it with Steam, because that would, like you were saying,
they lose money on it,
but up a lot.
But they might actually make money. That's the thing, is that Activision is one of those companies that I think it's like EA and Ubisoft. People will go to their services sometimes and buy their games, and they'll make all the money off of it. It's all in their controlled ecosystem.
Yeah, I truly think that with how popular Destiny got with the expansions and the different raids and the how it became
following.
Not a pay to win, but you were able to pay for all the different expansions and stuff that the other people couldn't get.
Yeah, that's not pay to win, but it's pay to access.
Exactly. So that people loved that. So I'm interested to see how people will take to Destiny 2. There's no way Activision's not going to make money off of this.
Oh, they already announced the expansion pass.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They announced expansion passes, 2 of them, for the game, a half a year before the game is even released. So we already know that we're not going to get a completely full game.
We might. It just depends on if they do it like the first Destiny and pretty much make it look pretty much show off everything that's already in the game, or if they do it say even Titanfall or something. Well, Titanfall's free DLC, so I can't exactly compare it to that. But it pretty much was a complete game at release, and then they released expansions. That should be how it is, and they should announce it after release and start development after release. Destiny 1 was actually proven, the DLC areas, not on the enemies and all that, you could actually jump over certain areas somehow, and actually access areas on the disc that were from the expansions several months down the line.
Yeah, that was not cool.
On disc.
And they took a lot of flack for that too. Like that was definitely heavily covered on other.
Oh yeah,
news sites.
every news site in the world is covering that.
Yeah, that was definitely something they should probably not do with Destiny 2, especially if they want to not irritate their entire fan base. But
hopefully, at the end of the day, I can ask two things. I hope that it's 60 FPS on consoles because it is a multiplayer shooter. Take note, even if you have to lower the graphics a bit, no big deal.
60 FPS.
60 FPS on consoles.
That's how it should be.
Unless it's a single player game, but this is still multiplayer. There's like PvP and at least for PvP, like player versus environment maybe, but PvP should be 60 FPS. It will be on PC probably. If they lock it to 30, they'll get negative reviews. If you've seen Mafia 3, it was locked to 30 FPS, and it was the lowest reviewed game on Steam until they patched it.
Yeah, PC games where people have $2,000 computers should not be locked at 30 FPS. So.
And then the second, based on the reveal trailer, it looks like they're trying to push more of a story-oriented thing and more personalities to the characters in the story.
Which is interesting. That'd be kind of cool.
So hopefully they don't even have to ditch the Grimoire card system or whatever they call it. Just don't make the game that's so empty.
As long as they make the whole like campaign part of the game just a more like not relatable, like just like a personal, like a connection with the game. A lot of people like games that they can actually relate or like compare like with the story. Destiny 1 sort of was a little bit lackluster in that. It was just very everywhere. So I'm really hoping that Destiny 2 sort of like hones that in and brings that one home.
That can really make this franchise a juggernaut in the area. It will cover literally everything. Destiny already was a lot of games in one. And you didn't have to pay a subscription. Well, the expansion packs are kind of the subscription. But
you have to pay for like PlayStation Plus.
You do have to play if you are on the consoles. No. But at least that's universal. It's not locked to the game.
That's true. So yeah, and we'll get some gameplay for you once that comes out. I myself will be getting this game.
He'll be getting it. I don't know if I will. I might.
But yeah, definitely. We'll definitely get some gameplay videos for you because this game should be pretty awesome, and I really hope it is. Also talking about some upcoming stuff for video games. Yes. Some big news we've got is the Xbox Project Scorpio.
Officially announced
later this year.
Yep, yeah, that was known. But we have more details now. Xbox invited Digital Foundry, which is part of Eurogamer, over in Europe, over to the U.S. to the Xbox offices at Microsoft, and they showed them pretty much the entire thing. They announced the exact specs here. I'm gonna compare them to the original Xbox One and Xbox One S here, as well as the PS4 Pro. Let's throw some numbers out here. It has the 8-core AMD Jaguar CPU at 2.3 gigahertz, so it's using the Jaguar architecture, probably to keep compatibility.
A lot like the Xbox One was.
Because it causes a little bit more development issues as well, and developers wouldn't be as encouraged to develop for two different processor architectures in the same generation.
It's also true.
It might even make people go to the PS4 exclusive because they did the same thing.
And they've already lost like the primary developers in games to PlayStation.
Yeah, mainly just for exclusivity content.
Yeah, exactly.
Exclusive
content first, and
they haven't really lost any like main developers. Like they kind of Bungie left them for Halo, but 343 is kind of taken over.
Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't really lose any franchises. But it's pretty much clocked 0.2 gigahertz higher than the PS4 Pro, and being at 2.3, that's a little less than 10%. So that should help a little bit on the CPU department, especially compared to the original Xbox One, which is the Jaguar CPU at 1.75. So a little bit of improvement. They can't really do much unless they upgrade it to like the Ryzen architecture, which just came out, but again, caused development issues with the way they do in the whole console cycle these days. The graphics, though, is what got the big upgrade here. Compared to the original Xbox One, that had 12 compute units at 853 megahertz or 914 on the Xbox One S. This has 40. That's over 3 times as much at 1172 megahertz. That's a lot faster.
12.
Yeah, it used to have 12. The PS4 Pro has 36, so that's quite a considerable improvement on PlayStation.
And if this isn't showing that like the PS4's Pro's power is quite impressive.
Yeah.
And so like the Xbox One, great console. PS4 Pro, power-wise, was significantly higher than that Xbox One.
The Xbox One S, which came out the same year.
Yeah, even the One S. Except for the One S technically had the 4K Blu-ray player, but
Yeah.
Aside from that, just
Gaming.
strictly gaming related, the PS4 Pro is definitely where you wanted to be if you wanted power. So it's definitely interesting to see Xbox firing back with the Scorpio.
And taking a whole year to make sure.
Yeah, and not
it's
just
more
being
powerful.
like instantaneously releasing a console. Like they're actually taking some time with this. We've heard about the Scorpio for a while now. So.
And apparently it's even using like vapor chamber cooling, which is seen in like the new NVIDIA Founders Edition graphics cards as well. So it like blows air out of the back. They're putting a lot of work into the design.
We're going up to GDDR5 now in memory, so something the RAM, which is something that the PS4 Pro is using. So we're hand in hand with that, except 4 gigs more RAM. So we're at 12 gigs of GDDR5 in the Xbox, the Project Scorpio.
The Project Scorpio has the 12 gigs of GDDR5, the PS4 and the Pro have 8 gigs of GDDR5, and the Xbox One had 8 gigs of DDR3 plus 32 meg of really, really fast ES RAM.
Which was kind of cool. It was kind of interesting that they did that split, because it was just completely different from the architecture the PlayStation used. So it'll be interesting to see what they do when they're running the exact same architecture now. Yeah,
specifically, it's 4 gigabytes more again, but 4 gigs of that will be used towards the operating system, and 8 gigs is dedicated towards games. So that should give them a lot of headroom. That should also make PC games, you'll probably be seeing a lot more 16 gig recommended games as well. There's some out there like Battlefield 1 as well. A lot of Microsoft games, surprisingly.
That's true, yeah.
And the main thing they're aiming for here is they stated that they wanted pretty much any game that ran on the Xbox One at 900p or better to run at full 4K at least the same frame rate on the Xbox Scorpio. And even if you don't have a 4K TV, they want to pretty much have a better experience graphically.
Well, and they've already said that any like an Xbox One game is going to be enhanced with having the Project Scorpio. So it's like how there's like enhanced games with the PS4 Pro,
and like even the boost mode, that might be how it works.
Exactly. So if you're playing a game that you like on the Xbox One, but you have the Scorpio, that game will definitely be enhanced on that console, but it won't be necessary to have the console to do that.
You'll still have all your games on the Xbox One, just like how all the new PS4 games will be on both systems. You can choose value or you can choose power.
Yeah, pretty much power versus value.
And they don't really care for the price either, as they've stated. They don't see it being their top seller. I don't see it either. People that buy consoles, they want it for the games mainly.
Well, we're probably looking probably like a
$500, $550. If they really want to be competitive, $500, maybe $500 on sale.
Because the PS4 Pro is $400 new.
$400 new.
But we're not talking 4K gaming, so
PS4 Pro is more in the middle. So it kind of like dynamic resolution. It uses a lot of dynamic resolution. So like games like Call of Duty that aren't too graphically demanding and like have small maps and stuff, not too much going on.
Stuff.
That runs in full 4K, which already ran at 1080p 60. Indie titles ran at 4K on PS4 Pro, but bigger games, they either got locked to 30 FPS in the case of Last of Us after the update, or you use dynamic resolution with 60. Xbox Scorpio, every game will run at the exact same or better frame rate at full 4K, as long as it was at 900p or higher. They want to do that.
It's kind of ironic that Blu-ray was Sony's like jam.
True.
And now just looking at a little graph, Blu-ray is all that the PS4 Pro has, and all the newer stuff is we're talking 4K UHD Blu-ray. And
the Xbox actually has a
more advanced Blu-ray in their consoles, when that was what Sony used to use as their advantage over the Xbox.
They probably still get licensing.
They might. I haven't looked into that in a little while. But
I can't say for certain, but they might still get licensing, which would be pretty cool because like a lot of companies that compete with each other.
It's just funny that the company with the technology first is not even using it to compete against Xbox. That's using it right back at them.
It's funny,
but they're still solid state. I want solid state in consoles.
Yeah, solid state in consoles. About that, there's like 2 options they really could do. Like the Xbox Elite system. Before the One S came out, the Elite system, you might remember, it wasn't sold for that long. It came with the Elite controller and a 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte solid state hard drive. So it's kind of a hybrid drive. Yeah, solid state hybrid drive, solid state hard drive. So that had like the SSD cache, but you couldn't store the whole OS on it, so it only cached like certain parts. Like an 8 gig cache. What I want to see is it could be entirely SSD based, but it still costs too much money. Especially
that would make the price.
There's already a massive shortage in like the memory they use in SSDs.
Because you can get like a terabyte mechanical for $50-$60.
Yeah, $50. And SSDs they keep going up in price because there's a shortage in parts. They really can't afford to do that right now.
Several $100s if you're looking at
Yeah, because
a
like
terabyte of solid state as
240
well.
gig SSD back in 2016 was like $60. Now it's 80 or like
Yeah, no,
75.
the prices of solid state is actually
So they
going
can't
up.
afford to do that right now. But maybe like a 20 gig one for the OS. That's really all you need.
That'd be awesome. I would definitely hope they can do that. So it'll be interesting to see as time goes on. We'll definitely continue to keep you guys all updated on.
Yep, and the final
we find out
design
for this
and
Scorpio.
more details will be shown, it sounds like, at their E3 event, which they actually pushed up to Sunday. So.
And if we find out a name for it, we don't know if
Oh, the name should be announced at E3 as well.
E3. There we go. So yes, we'll definitely keep you
And
in
that's
the know.
in early to mid-June. I don't know the exact dates, but once E3 comes around, it probably won't even be on, like, we'll have some on the podcast, but we'll probably have like a full-on video. Maybe we'll even watch E3 with you guys.
Yeah, lots of drops. Yeah, you guys can expect.
E3 is
that,
an
'cause
exciting time, especially for a channel like this.
Any gaming stuff, any gamer. It's E3 is like their heaven,
Everything is
essentially.
shown
It's
there.
awesome.
Hype. It's literally like a hype event.
Yeah, so we're definitely excited that here. But the other thing, we're looking at
Like some Nintendo Switch concepts. Yeah. So I don't actually have an article pulled up here to base this off of, but I've heard some rumors and speculation around the internet that there could be different variations of the Nintendo Switch, like a dock that can output like 4K or more power, and also like a handheld. Nintendo's considered making another handheld. So there's a lot of ways to go about this here, because Nintendo has said repeatedly right now, they're like, the 3DS, we're still completely supporting it. We can see its market. And then they've also said we're considering making a successor to the 3DS. Not everyone wants to carry a Switch tablet. I love carrying the Switch tablet. It is a little big, so you can't really pocket it. I can't really pocket the 3DS anyway, to be honest. It's pretty thick.
Yeah, the 3DS XLs. They're not
That's why I never
small.
really pocketed it, especially the XL. They didn't even sell the new Nintendo 3DS in North America most of the time.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, but so there's a concept here that not only would there be the standard Nintendo Switch we know and love, but there'd also be the Nintendo Switch Dock Extreme Edition. I don't even know what they're gonna call it. Extreme Edition Pro. Nintendo Switch Pro Dock.
Taking a jab at Sony.
Yeah,
But
but
the PS4 Pro.
basically it would add more power. Maybe they could even crossfire with what's in there, but
That'd be cool.
it would have a dedicated CPU and graphics card, preferably.
Well, we've seen in the past companies to do like different like iPads, for example. They have the iPad Mini. They now have the iPad and the iPad Pro. They've got 3 models: a small, like a medium size, and a larger, more powerful option.
But what differs here?
If we could do that with a console,
What differs here is it's not like the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, the iPad Pro. This is an attachment. So
Yeah,
you have the dock
exactly.
already that comes with the Switch,
hopefully
so
get
it
a
comes with
smaller
the complete
version of the
package.
Switch.
Yeah, that's. I was actually about to go in that just a second, but they have the dock, so that could be the second option. Upgrade your Switch, get more power from what you already have, because you can't really make the Switch any better than it is right now,
That's true.
unless you maybe use Pascal architecture. But they can't do that at this point, really. So you already have the tablet in its best form, so you'd have better power at home, which could potentially bring more third-party games, as we discussed about in the past, is the Switch third-party games. But the third option, and this is something I've mainly thought about, but I've heard around the internet as well, is a Switch handheld. So it's
cool.
I don't know if they call it the Switch, but it'd still play Nintendo Switch games, which would be the big thing here. I don't want Nintendo to fragment themselves again, because that could be a big thing, having both, as they're doing like right now. They still have some support for the 3DS. They
Not
have
much.
Yeah, there's still some though. But they have both the Wii U and 3DS games pretty much coming to one system, and that would be the Switch. So not everyone would have to compromise for a hybrid solution. The people that still want the smaller devices, maybe it would go 480p resolution.
Yeah.
Would they really notice? Not really if it's small enough.
You can't even tell the really low resolution on
The 3DS is 240p. I can kind of tell that. That's pretty outdated. It also came out in 2011.
240p, and people still buy those things.
400 by 240 resolution.
Constantly.
800 by 240 in 3D. That's because for the 2 eyes. But so they could have the handheld too. Do you think it's a good move for Nintendo?
I personally think it'd be really cool. Like we both
Would it make
here
it
have
money?
3DSs, and so I definitely would
Yeah.
love to get like the spiritual successor to that, just because.
And still be
Why-
able to play the same games.
Yeah,
too.
why not? Like you're playing Breath of the Wild on your console, you have it docked, you're playing on your TV, you take it on the go. Yeah, you're looking at a big device to be carrying on the go. You got your carrying case, that sort of a thing. It'd be really super cool to be able to have a little console maybe not the Switch because you're not switching it between the console and the TV or anything like that, but some form of a handheld that you can take those same
Switch cartridges. It uses the cartridges, yeah.
Just take it on the go and play it. And when you get home, put it in your actual Switch and dock it up. It'd be really cool if they could sort of like hybrid the two handheld consoles so they don't have that dissonance between we're going to support the DS, we're going to support the Switch. So I think it's I think it'd be a great move.
Yeah, and like with the Switch, I think they'd kind of market this towards a different audience as well, because not just for the people that want to have a smaller Switch to take on the go, because I feel like a lot of Switch owners would just be content with their tablet. I would, honestly.
No, I love doing it. It's cool.
I like having the bigger screen and stuff, especially when Smash comes out. That'll be nice. Yes, Smash Switch. You'll be hearing a lot of references to Smash Bros. Switch. Come on, Nintendo. But anyways, maybe E3. Then Reggie said a lot of surprises at E3. Reggie's a tease. But basically, the handheld, I feel a lot like, especially the younger market. The Switch has pretty much been marketed only towards adults, which has been surprising. There's been more
it has been kind of different,
especially before launch. A lot more towards adults. There wasn't even a single child in the first two. Now there is. They're showing them in the Mario Kart commercials.
Yeah, the new Mario Kart game.
But I feel like the big market there too is a lot of parents buy each kid a DS. They don't want to buy each kid a Nintendo Switch.
The actual console.
So this would be cheaper too. And they'd all have their own personal ones, and maybe there'd be one main one in the house too for a family case, or people that don't want a Nintendo Switch. Maybe they prefer to play on one console or maybe a PC. And on the go, they want to take a Switch. That would mainly be me. I usually use it in portable mode.
I would love that. I would love it. I think if Nintendo is smart, whether they announce it at E3 or a year from now, I don't care. But I think if they want to be smart about it, eventually they're gonna have to kill off the 3DS. That's just how life works. But
that's all I want.
I truly think that if they're going to play their cards the best way possible
and make a handheld successor,
little version of the
Switch with
Switch.
Lower resolution, maybe lower graphics, but with the lower resolution it'd have lower graphics.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be
then the dock would appease to the high end people without having to buy a new Switch.
Or you could just be me and end up buying both, because
you could just buy all of it and
that's what I'll end up doing.
The ultimate baller. but that'd be pretty cool. I don't know when they're gonna announce that, but basically from all this, all I want is Nintendo to not make a separate system with separate games. If they make nothing, I'll be fine. If they don't make a handheld successor, I'll be completely fine. I don't care. Just not another system, because I'll take away the games that will come to the Switch.
Well, people are super hyped about all the games coming to the Switch.
Exactly, the Switch is so popular. Nintendo just keep focusing on it.
Yeah, they definitely have hype. Amiibos, the NES Classic, the Switch. They know how to generate hype, and they know how to generate that wanting of a console.
At least the NES Classic doesn't compete with it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It's already using games that were made. That's the main thing I've been emphasizing.
So I think they just really need to capitalize on that now.
Yep.
We'll see what they do, and for all things Nintendo, they'll just stick with us, and we'll definitely
we got some Amiibos keep over there off camera. I just noticed them.
we'll definitely keep you in the loop on all things Nintendo between here and
especially E3. Yep, we'll be watching Nintendo's E3 as well as Xbox and maybe PlayStation. Might be a surprise. Again, they posted.
And to sort of veer off from gaming, we sort of touched on a little bit last week the Samsung Galaxy S8.
We read an article last week, actually, talking about the shortage of processing with the Exynos internationally and the Snapdragon. Samsung actually came out and stated there is no shortage.
Absolutely none. So we're back. So
we're hoping Samsung is really
actually telling the truth.
It's really telling the truth. They also said that they've gone through a lot of quality control. So that they don't get the Note 7 thing happening again.
Yeah, we don't want another one of those.
Yeah, we don't. If they explode phones again, LG wins. But
they're already doing great. They just had the launch of their phone.
G6 just launched today, I believe, on all major U.S. carriers, maybe internationally. But as far as I know, they launched today on the carriers.
Well, today, we're recording this.
As of today. Today is Friday, April 7th.
Yeah, so it actually was released Friday. You're gonna watch us on Sunday, but you can deal with that because we're not doing this live. So yeah, deal with that. But yeah, so we
have details that were already pretty much known, but these are all confirmed. These are all in one place now.
and you can actually find demo models of them in stores now. They're available for pre-order. You can't purchase them yet.
The Samsung experience in Best Buy is the main place you can find it right now.
And they have multiple different color options for the phones. They've got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, definitely if you have a Best Buy close to you, go check one if there's a Samsung experience in it. Go check it out. Go see the phone for yourself too, which is kind of cool. But
exactly, I used it. It's pretty much a great device. I messed around with the camera and stuff.
Yeah, excellent. I used it a lot.
But my phone here. I have this HTC 10 here. This has a 5.2-inch screen, and the S8 has a 5.8 inch. It's mainly taller, but it's pretty much the same size as this phone, even thinner.
I've actually held my the S7 Edge on top of the S8. The S8, being that the whole phone is pretty much the screen.
Yeah.
It fills the whole screen itself is as big as my phone essentially. But it's not actually bigger than my phone currently. So It's super cool. So I'm really hoping
real estate, especially for reading articles. One weird thing, though, is the fact that when you're watching videos, they're still in 16:9.
Yeah,
some apps aren't really made for it.
It is a little odd.
But Samsung's trying to mitigate that by forcing it. But some apps will cut off. So they took a page out of LG's book there. They did the same thing. There's actually a little fun fact here. Both of them are taller. So that's kind of funny that they both went for taller bezel-less displays in 2017.
Exactly.
They both know what's up. But LG's is 18:9 and Samsung's is 18.5:9.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. And for all you people out there that are social media freaks like Tyler, they actually built in their own filters and stuff like that. They're sort of copying Snapchat. That means
I think Apple's
doing
that too.
So many different filters and stuff that are always on the phone, never changing. You can download tons more, but it's all just built into the camera app right on there. So that's kind of cool if that's something you're into. I don't personally do much of that.
Yeah. If I'm gonna do filters, I'm already on Snapchat, which I'm already just completely casual on. If I'm taking pictures with my phone on the camera app, it won't be like that.
Yeah, so that's something that's kind of cool. Everything's built into the phone now. The super. It's super.
It's pretty much all phone.
That's
the main.
You're no longer carrying around a brick with a little screen on it. You're carrying around something that fully has everything on it. So that's good. And then
one more thing I mainly wanted to touch on compared to the G6 is the S8 has the first 10 nanometer processor. So even though the size of the battery is smaller, it actually is pretty much the same battery life.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be really cool. I think we're moving the right direction with phones. I think it's going to be a super cool thing. But we'll definitely keep you updated on that as we hear more information once it gets released and some
maybe someone will have
numbers
an S8
stuff like that. So we'll definitely go from there. But yeah, so that's this week on the Death Mountain podcast. For sure, just definitely check us out on everything like Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube.
You'll see it on the video.
And subscribe. Please subscribe. Once we get to 100 subscriptions on YouTube, we can actually become an official YouTube channel. So literally click the subscribe button.
It takes 2 seconds. It doesn't hurt you. Maybe you'll have
we'll love you forever, and we can continue to make these videos.
Yes, we see who subscribes to us too.
Or comments on our stuff, because show us the love.
Comment us. Either show us the love, hate on us. I don't care. I might roast you back if it's a really random.
Exactly. There you go. So so do what you want, but definitely hit us up on all social media, and
social media, comment, like the video too. It actually puts us up.
Yeah. All right. So that's it from us this week.
And click the notification bell so you'll be a part of the Death Mountain notification squad. Be there first every time.
All right, and you stay classy, Spokane.
Stay classy.
See you around.